Look, I'm going to just play this little section here. Well, I'm just going to show you, just an idea. I got a rectangular, like I've got this painting here, and as you can see, well, you won't be able to see because it's just awkward the way the bloody camera does it. But this is a bit smaller in rectangle than this one. But I was thinking, when I sat it here the other day, I was having a look at it, and this is how it inspired me. I sit it here and I think, well, I could still have that composition in this frame like that, but I can enlarge, take a bit of the tree foliage up the top here, take it through into this area here. So what I'm going to do is just show you without going mad on the composition. I'm just going to put a basic little pencil bit of a sketch in there on this, and give this a bit of a paint after, or whenever I do, and just show you. And we'll have a look at it and we'll see how it comes up. But here, all we're doing again is just a base, the foreground, and don't have to copy it. I can just take that roughly, maybe somewhere there, and bring that back down in there. Bring that around in there, then do that there. Then we're going to have that right down the back there, have that the background coming through there, then a bit of the base of this left hand side showing in there, and just try to keep the horizon. I might take the horizon up a little bit higher there and take that back a bit, and maybe even pull that around there a bit. And see, my brain can do that job for me. And then I can just put the trees in here, where the trees are going to go there in the background. A couple of trees to bring in and pull in this area here. This can come in here. This tree can go, it can be a lot slimmer than what it was in this photo. What we can do is just pull it up like that, and just take a branch out there, take one up there. We don't have to copy the whole thing. You know, we can just use that as the composition. I can still put a little bush in here, round in there, cover that in the back there, take a couple of trees in here, and when I do this painting, it'll still look like the Beechworth Bakery. It'll still have the soul of the Beechworth Bakery, and there'll be people there that can understand what this painting's about when I'm sitting it down there and doing a bit of painting and selling my paintings. You know, so yeah, I just saw it a nice, higher, a longer composition, and have a look at it that way too. You know, like, and I don't have to even work through with these colours. I can change the whole atmosphere of the painting if I want to. But yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'll put a bit of colour in that after, and we'll just see what the first coat looks like on this painting. And I better get into that other sunset one that I'll put on YouTube too, and give that a coat too. But yeah, it's just interesting to see how this one comes. And anyhow, what I put on YouTube is just what I do through the day. If people are interested in it, you know, and they get something out of it, fine. You know, I'm not out to bloody try and do anything really, just probably get people inspired a little bit to do things, do painting and whatever. It's a lovely way to sort out depression and things like that. Anyhow, we'll have a look at that, and I'll compare it with this, and we'll just see what the difference between this one looks in a frame compared to that one. Alright, so we'll leave it at that for now. Oh, we're going to go back into the colouring now, and you probably won't see it because my hand will be in the road. There'll be something I'll stuff up here. But anyhow, what I'm going to do is just have a go. I mean, I've got to get myself back into this stuff, you know, like these floods have screwed my head up a bit. But anyhow, I'm not going to show you the colours. I mean, look, if you're painting red, yellow and blue, just put them red, yellow and blues. Cool one, warm one. And I'm not going to paint all over this frame at this stage. I'm just going to keep that frame nice and clean for a change, because all I do is ever wreck them. I wreck the bastards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up this composition, you know, around with this. Anyhow, I'm going to use a little bit of magenta in the sky. Alright, I'm going to use a little bit of cerulean blue and a little bit of ultra. A little tip of oil, just to get the paint running a bit. I think sometimes the paint varies in the colours too, with the different makes and stuff like that, you know, that's an art spectrum. Oh, but anyhow, I don't like the idea of that blue either. That is not very good at all. But anyhow, we'll play it up the top here anyhow. Seeing the sky goes up a little bit higher in this one, I'll have a little bit more ultramarine in it, and then just bring it down. I'm going to go. You probably can't even see the writing or the sketch underneath that, but it's only because it's only very light. I don't go and put a big thick pencil mark in or anywhere, because I'm you know, I'm just doing what I'm doing. And I've got to get a little bit of blue in that blue, you know what I mean? I don't want that bloody... Oh man, I'm not going to use that blue again. That's Art Spectrum's blue. I'm going to... Pull that around there. And mind you, when I'm always saying, never ever is my painting ever finished. Like, I can go back through it anytime I want to. I've got to get some of that blue in there. You know, like even the phthalo. Is it phthalo? That's how you do it. I don't know how you get that. I don't know how you pronounce that stuff. I'm not very good at pronouncing words, but anyhow, you can just see the difference in that blue anyhow. And as the blue comes down on the horizon, it does get a little bit greener, a little bit more paler, but it can be even paler than that. I'm just, and it probably should be, but anyhow, we're not going to worry about that at the moment. I'm just going to try and get a coloured structure of what's going on with the painting. See, I could put a little bit of lemon in that and really make it paler down to the bottom there, but we won't go too far with that. There's no need for that at this stage in here. No need for that at this stage. And what we'll do is I'm going to go over this blue. I'm just trying to get a pattern where my pencil marks are. Try and put a bit of blue in there just to give you an idea where my ward is going to be, where the bank's going to be. I mean, obviously the bank reflection's going to be in there, but all I'm doing is I'm just playing around and that beautiful feeling of knowing that your painting is not finished, that you can work over it any time you want to, you know. Yeah, I don't want to put any cloud formation in there because I don't want to make it all complicated and then try and draw the painting over it. I'll put cloud in there somewhere once I've got my base and structure of the painting going. Now, and what I do is I'll use a bit of magenta, a little bit of blue, a little bit of dirty red, no, a little bit of ultramarine, a little bit of yellow, raw sienna, whatever. I'll try and get that. See that? I've got that blue from the sky. What we'll do first is get rid of the blue. Alright? Because it just fights with the colour. You know, and we don't want that. And mind you, I'm not copying it. I'm using this photo or this painting that I've done, which could have been worked on a bit more. Just doing I'm just going to put a little bit of colour in there. Alright, put that there, put that there. Oh man, I know, I'm probably not crash up, but anyhow, I'm alright. Alright, and we're going to play that in there like that, bring that down in there, because we've got bushes and stuff there. Marvellous how the paint moves around too, isn't it, when you're playing with it. As long as you're not getting too technical with your brush strokes at this stage. You're just playing around with it, you're pushing the paint around a little bit. Trying to get something interesting working, and but still trying to keep that, keep that feel of that painting or that particular area, So, and I think that can even go back up there even further. Noticing that. Even though I've got pencil marks on there, I can move it around and adjust as I'm going along, because what goes on is my brain, it tells me where to go. God, I got that polyurethane stuff on the roof there, and man, it's belting down that sun. That sun is cooking me. I'm going to have to get a hat if that doesn't go in a minute. Because now what I'll do is a little bit of raw sienna, a little bit of yellow, mallow, a little bit of maybe vermilion red, whatever you call it, I can't even pronounce the stuff. And I'm going to try and put a little bank in here, right? Put some bank colour in there. Right? And then we'll do the same thing on this side. And it doesn't matter if you've got a little bit of that other colour in it, because it's going to work well with it, isn't it? And this here, it's going to come down in there. That works around there and around along there like that. And even put that in there, it doesn't matter. I'll move that and put it, doesn't matter. There. Now what I'll do is I'll throw in just a tiny little bit of reflection, alright, of the bank, so I'm getting a bit of feel for the painting. I haven't gone any real darks actually, even though it's dark to light. I'm going from dark to light, but I'm not down into my real darkest darks. So you can see how the feel of that's building up. Right, now I'll just do that in there, and then what I can do is I may go push a little bit darker. Right, I'll get this in here. I'll drop my brushes all over the ground. That's alright, it's okay. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do anything. Free will, as long as you don't hurt people. Or hurt yourself, for that matter. Get that down in there. Yeah, I don't know. It's all in fun. All this stuff's in fun, you know. And but really, it is magic how you take the soul of that painting, even though you're working off that painting. They're the same painting, but a little bit of difference in perspective, because your there's different shape of your board, but using the same painting changes the whole atmosphere of everything around again. You know, put that in there. I'm going to play a bit of shadow down in there. Oh God, don't sit back too much on that chair, mate. I'll finish up being in a mess, man. Do that. What we'll do is we'll play a bit of that colour. We'll get it going again because I've just lost all that colour. So we'll put a little bit of that, not too much strong red in there, but we'll put that colour in there. And what we're going to do is just do a cross stroke. And look, mind you, I'm just doing whatever I want to do. I'm just trying to get myself interested in the painting. And what are we doing here? Let's get a bit of that in there. Try and get that in there. Alright. Alright. And now we're going to have this is going to be covered anyhow, that. But we'll do a side stroke there. How's that? Just give it a little bit of a feel for some reflection. Yeah, just get a little bit of reflection. We're losing a bit of that colour, but that doesn't matter either because we're going to come back. What we've done is we've stated what we're going to do with a bit of colour. And it's nice to have a little bit of all that fleeting, beautiful colour underneath coming through your painting anyhow. So all we're doing is building up the structure of a painting, you know, without getting too stiff and trying to be too stiff and correct in what we're doing. At the end of the day, that's a painting, just a painting of the area, you know, of Beechworth Bakery, but I'm having a bit of fun with it at the same time. And what we'll do is we'll probably even put a bit of the earth colour in there, okay? And we can go a bit darker with that too at this stage. Put a bit of that in there and then just let that looks a bit dirty, doesn't it? But that's alright. Getting a bit quiet, isn't it? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and throw in that tree. And I think, where are we? No, I don't really need to come up too high. What we'll do is we'll lighten it up with a bit of colour. We'll just have that tree that was going to come down there. Okay, we just don't have to copy the tree to any great deal. Well, I'm actually going different to what the pencil sketch was in here. But remember, my branches get a little bit thinner as they get up the top. You don't want real heavy stuff up the top. And then you want a branch that's going to come out there. Right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of those trees down in there, eh? And we don't want any real heavy looking trees, but we want a couple of dead ones and a couple of we don't know where we're going right now. Okay, and we can just put that in there. We'll put that one over there like that. And no, there we go. We're just getting a bit of a... Who's that? Oh, I wonder who's after me, but anyhow, we'll just have a tree coming out there, I suppose. We're going to have a little bush. We're not going to see much of that one, this side. Just have a couple of branches coming through there. What we're going to do, we're going to have this green bush that comes up here. We need that there somewhere. And there's other bushes through there too, actually. But we need to, yeah. And just, I'm not going to go too far up with that. We're going to have a couple of other bushes around in here, and they're going to be those green wattly ones. We could either have wattle green wattly ones or whatever. And we really want a couple of bits of colour over in there too. This will be probably better than the actual one there, that one. But anyhow, and it doesn't matter. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun doing what we'll do here. But you can see it's starting to build up, and you know, once you start putting a bit of what do you call it? Little bit of spatula work in there and that too, you know, it'll all start to come good. Oh, I'm going to just have a little branch there. It's just still going, yep. Anyhow, it's, you know, just look at magic. Look at magic, man. And we're just playing around there, painting that. I love to do this part of it's, making up the painting is fabulous. It's really good fun. And what's happening is the brain's doing the job. You know, because I just don't have that technical knowledge to hold knowledge in my brain. So I can't do what other people do. I have to paint on instinct and what knowledge I can hold, obviously. But, you know, I just can't sit there. If you make the story too long with me, I've lost. Don't tell me a dirty joke because I've lost it in the first 2 words. You know, I just can't do that. My brain does not hold that knowledge, and I'm not feeling sorry for myself, trying to get people feeling sorry for me. That's how it is. That's how my brain is. Made it very hard for me to work at school. It didn't stop me from living though. I had a plastering sort of business that my dad taught me and stuff like that. So I'm not unteachable, but I've been painting for over 50 years, and man, I'm only just learning things. It's incredible, really. I'm just learning. I just think, you know, I'll put a few little branch structures in here, make it interesting up here, and it needs to be reasonably dark up the top there. Right, now I'll put the, I don't know whether it's gone flat, but I'll just show you, like when you're building up your painting, what people do is, you know, after they've been painting for a while, their brain starts to do the job. Like, and once you understand that the what lights and darks of your painting, you know, it's just, when you just even doing that, you know, it just brings it alive. And if you've got when you want to put a bit of light over in here, when you get a bit of light and it starts to hit there, a little bit of light hitting there, and a little bit of light coming through the back of the hills, the bank there, you know, or a little bit of light up here, you know, and then you start putting a little bit of, and this is one thing you don't want to do, is what I'm doing right now is going too far forward with your painting. Like we all do, we get excited when we're learning and we go too quick too soon at trying to bring things alive, you know. And you know, even putting a little bit of green in there, you can just see how a bit of reflection in the water, just there. Anyhow, that's I don't think I even really need any big branches up there at the moment. I'm going to leave that. I'll soften, no, what I'll do is I'll soften this up here. Yeah, soften that stuff up there. And look, we can go through the sky later on and bring the sky back down into the trees here. Yeah, there's lots of things we can do. Don't have to. Yeah, let's have a look and see what it looks like in the frame, eh? I don't think I haven't got a what do you call it? A liner to sit, a white liner to sit in the thing to make it stand out. But I can have a look at that now, and I can think I'll just lift it up a bit. Eh? Just take it back a bit. And so look, that's where we've got in a half an hour or so. You know, it's quite a great feeling. And yeah, I'm going to have some root coming down in there. That's going to have a branch there. That one might have a bit of foliage on it, this tree here. Yeah. And there's probably going to be a couple of branches out there somewhere, I don't know. We'll see what happens in there. You can see the balance of this tree here. It looks a bit awkward, doesn't it? Hey? So what I'll do is there is really another tree coming down in there on this one, and I'm going to just take it up there. And that will finish that off a little bit better. It'll look a little bit neater, a little bit more balanced, you know. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that over the next few days. I mean, like, it might take 20 minutes or a half hour to do this, But the way I work, I'll be working it onto another painting, and I might even, there's another one I'm going to do. I've got a big one behind this, but I feel like I need to put a smaller tree on this one in here. Yeah, but I'm looking at a different coloured frame too. A nicer coloured frame, goldy sort of frame, not goldy, but I'm going to turn that off, and that's that part of that painting for today, or for this morning. Anyhow, I hope you get something out of it, and I've got to get back into this sunset, and I may even do that now. See ya.